Hey everyone, welcome to this weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast for the week of January 24th through the 30th of 2022. All right, so this week we have not a whole lot going on astrologically the early part of the week, but the second half does have some very important events. About midweek, Mercury will go retrograde back into Sagittarius. So just as a reminder, it's still a good time of rethinking things, reevaluating things, approaching things differently when it comes to the routines with both Mercury and Venus retrograde. But Venus is going to go direct here around Saturday. And so a lot of the stuff we've been reflecting on this past almost month regarding values, regarding relationships, regarding anything Venusian. Venus rules values, relationships, things we enjoy in life. This has all been going through a reworking process, exploration, and now maybe some of this stuff starts to slowly move forward as we get into next week. Also around the Saturday time period, we do have Mercury going retrograde back over Pluto. The last time this happened was December 30th. Now with Mercury retrograde. So deep stuff still, of course, to be aware of during this time, and maybe some things involving communication could be good to empower ourselves with, and maybe learning. Gaining new information could also be empowering during, again, what is this kind of reevaluating, approaching things differently time period. And then the week does end with the sun squaring up to Uranus, so maybe a good Sunday time period for a bit of getting outside that comfort zone constructively, especially with self-expression, anything different that is about expressing ourselves in new ways, maybe letting out some of that true self could be a great way of working with that energy as well. All right, so let's go and take a look at all of this here in more detail when we return. Alrighty, so here is the sky for this week. We're going to start first with Monday, January 24th. And as you can see here, we are using the visible sky, which is very different from mainstream astrology. You will notice a lot of the signs are different. So if you are new to True Sidereal, definitely check the link down below for more information. All right, so let's do a bit of a recap. Let's see where everything is coming into this week. As you can see, most of the concentration of energy is towards the Friday through Sunday time period with the aspects anyways, but we do have some sign changes. Midweek, Mercury will be going retrograde back into Sagittarius. But let's do a bit of a recap here. So Mars has recently left the deeper galactic center last week. Maybe some things early last week that were released and cleared regarding the masculine, regarding our needs, our assertive drive. There's likely some healing there. And so this is continuing with the more post-transformation energy now slowly, but now coming into the week, Mars is officially in Sagittarius now. So the post-transformation of the deeper energy where we should feel with that masculine side, with that assertive side, more of that free-spiritedness and adventurousness, and expanding our horizons. And this is where we've had a lot of concentration of energy with Venus and now Mercury dipping back into here. So Venus has already been here. This is the constellation of her entire retrograde, and so it's been good to see what we really do value about things in life and about relationships as well, and again maybe explore some of those things differently, which has been great. And and then Mercury dipping back into here midweek. We'll place more of an emphasis on the power of perception, I think. And our beliefs, our perception on life, plays a very important role in things. And again, we do learn a lot during those retrogrades. All right, but the sun is well set in Capricorn now, and continuing that transit, of course. So fundamentally, I think it's a great time to still view life through the lens of what does take time, what takes a bit of patience, discipline, or perseverance, and work on things there constructively. All right, so let's go ahead and start first with Monday in terms of the moon's placement. Again, no major aspects, but the moon here Monday and Tuesday will be placing an emphasis on improvement and anything that does involve that improvement nature. So our work, our routines, our habits, are all good energies to develop when the moon's in Virgo here. And this is the third quarter phase of the lunar cycle, which means exactly a week prior to this Monday, Tuesday time period was the full moon. And so it is a good time to come into the week with a bit of implementation, a bit of action. I think we'll likely be willing to do this. Typically the third quarter, we're more willing to put in the action and integrate things. But any insights or shifts of awareness you had from a week ago could be very good to implement in this way coming into the week. And then once we do get to the Wednesday time period, the moon will go into Libra, placing more of an emphasis on balance. And so anything on Wednesday that deals with balance, both personally and interpersonally, I think is a major theme, and just all in all good to develop. And this is of course the same time that Mercury goes back into Sag, gets closer to Sag than Capricorn. And so again, starting to reevaluate the power of perception, perhaps, things in our life that we are spirited about, we do enjoy. And this will be Mercury getting even closer to that Pluto. But we'll talk more about that in a moment around that Friday time period. And then once we do get to the Thursday, we do have the moon shifting into Scorpio. So again, deeper energy, but this is cyclical. Every month we have the moon here. So Thursday and Friday, the moon will be in deep Scorpio and deep Ophiuchus. So those couple days I think is great for excavating, bringing deep stuff to the surface, maybe emotionally or personally, with the moon here, but just a theme around this kind of stuff. Again, we are feeling more transformed with the assertive side with Mars, but there are still obviously some things that are being brought to the surface here. So good to be aware of that. Anything involving healing, personal empowerment, transformation, research, uncovering deep things, great, those Thursday and Friday days. And this is on Friday where Mercury then gets, conjunct Pluto again. So the first time this happened was when Mercury was direct, which is back on December 31st. Did I have that right? Yes, or 30th, December 30th. And so at that time, there was probably some things that we were becoming aware of that now, again, we can approach differently on that deeper level. So just a good time to, reflect on some things in terms of our deeper needs, who we are on a deeper level, excavating deep stuff about ourselves or about life, and looking at it from a different lens, a different perspective, which is fundamentally what Pluto and Sagittarius is all about, is transforming our personal and collective perceptions on life. And so now it's a great time of reconnecting to that power of perception, right? And again, dive deep, anything on that deeper level, learning about it, using the deep mind, deep communications as well, could be a theme there. And again, just a good way of working with that conjunction. Now, a lot going on here. Also, the sun will be sextiling Chiron, nothing major, but do know that healing energy is supporting us during this time. The sextiles tend to be easier. There's an opening here for that, and maybe in the context of self-expression with the sun sextiling Chiron. But this is when Venus goes station. So she's going to go direct now after her retrograde period. And so around this weekend, things shifting with, again, values, both personally and interpersonally, how we're relating, relationships, our enjoyments. And so it's been a great time, this past month, to kind of reflect on things here. What is it we enjoy and value in life? Maybe some dynamics of relationships and relating that now can slowly be implemented moving forward. So do give it some time, of course, as Venus is paused in the sky, but definitely some shifts. And going into next week, now more of the forward-moving energy with values, relationships, and enjoyments after this retrograde time period. Okay, and Venus is going to be very close to a trine up to Uranus during this. It's not going exact. She's just, with her retrograde, she's getting very close back to that trine with Uranus. This actually took place back on November 19th. Okay, for those of you who want to check that time in regards to this. But all in all, it's all about, again, approaching things differently. Venus trine Uranus. Uranus is all about change, unorthodoxy, challenging the status quo, and a bit of freedom. So anything that is on that level is very supportive with this. It could be that the shifts are bringing in more freedom in our enjoyments, in our values, in our relationships, right? And anything that is getting outside the comfort zone, a little bit different, unorthodox, in that context, I think is great around this time. Again, nothing major, but supporting it nonetheless. All right, and the moon here on Saturday will be in Sag. So this is where the moon does the transformation at the galactic center. And then so Saturday, Sunday, we should start to feel more of that free-spirited energy collectively. Again, the power of perception, the importance of listening to our spirit in life, right? This is all the main themes here with so many planets activating this. And the weekends here on Sunday with the sun squaring up to Uranus. And so obviously a challenging aspect, but I see it as it being very constructive. In this case, how can we perhaps, listen to that true self and do things that are freeing and speak more to that true self, but constructive, because squares usually tend towards imbalances. And so imbalances with Uranus can be, too much of that. So breaking free, wanting, revolution, changing too much, sometimes scattered or just all over the place, or too electrifying, or even nervous energy. So intentionally recognizing that there is a need for change and new experiences and approaching things again differently. And doing that constructively is a great way of working with this. Anything that is innovative, outside of our own status quo, that feels like a challenge, but it feels right because it's constructive, it's intentional, that does bring in more freedom, more of our true self and our individual self-expression, right? Constructively, it's a great way of working with this. And this will be a nice step in the right direction. As we're basically ending the current lunar cycle, this is the ending of the current lunar month. And the new moon will be around the Monday, Tuesday, late Monday, early Tuesday time period. And so it is a time of closing things out now as we get into that next week, finalizing things from the cycle, letting the energies die down a little bit, and completing things from the cycle as we gear up for that new beginning, that fresh new start, which will be in Capricorn, which of course I'll make a separate video on that. All right, everyone. So so that is the week in a nutshell. Most important thing is, of course, coming into the week, good for a bit of that action, third quarter phase, square between the sun and moon, grounding time, implementing with improvement and whatnot. Mercury going back into Sag, retrograde, to re-examine our perception on life from Wednesday onwards. Fridays where the concentration of energy is. Mercury over that Pluto, the deep mind, deep communication, to be, again, approached in a different way or learn some things about and explore there. Venus starts to go direct, stuff we've been reflecting on regarding our values, regarding relationships, or anything on the back burner there, starts to move forward. And the sun square Uranus over the weekend on Sunday for a bit of that constructive freedom in healthy ways. All right, so everyone have a fantastic week. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click the like button if you're watching this on YouTube. And if you're not yet signed up for MTZ Insiders, it is a newsletter where you do get these videos released first before YouTube, and extra content not normally released on YouTube. So if you aren't yet signed up, definitely check out the link down below for that. But have a great week, everyone. Thank you again for all of your support, and I'll see you all next time for the next astrology forecast. Take care.